Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of abandoned places you can actually visit. Get ready for some incredible and eerie destinations. We're talking ghost towns, deserted islands, creepy old hospitals, the whole 9 yards. And the craziest part? You, me, anyone can actually go check them out. So buckle up because this is going to be an insane ride. Let's get into it. This is going to be epic. Alright, kicking things off with a big one. And I mean huge. We're talking Pripyat. You guys have all heard of Chernobyl, right? The infamous nuclear disaster? Well, Pripyat is the city that was built for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It was like a model Soviet city, super modern for its time, with around 50,000 people living there. They had everything: schools, hospitals, a Ferris wheel, swimming pools, the works. It was a bustling, happy place, full of families and life. Can you even imagine? Then bam! April 26, 1986. The Chernobyl disaster happens, and the entire city had to be evacuated in like a matter of hours. They were told it was temporary, just for a few days. People left everything behind: toys on the floor, books open on tables, food still on their stoves. It's absolutely wild to think about. They never came back. The city was just frozen in time, left to the elements and the radiation. It's literally a snapshot of Soviet life in the 80s, but completely deserted. Now here's the crazy part, you guys. You can actually visit Pripyat. Next up, we're heading over to Japan, to Hashima Island, or Gunkanjima, meaning Battleship Island. From a distance, it looks like a massive, decaying battleship. It was once a bustling coal mining facility. Mitsubishi developed it, housing over 5,000 people on just 16 acres. It was one of the most densely populated places on Earth. In the 60s, petroleum replaced coal, and the mines closed. By 1974, it became a ghost town, abandoned to the elements. All right, let's switch continents and head down to Africa, specifically Namibia, for our next spot. This one is visually insane, guys. It's called Kolmanskop, and it's a ghost town that's literally being swallowed by the Namib Desert. Imagine houses filled, not with furniture, but with sand dunes. Room after room, just waves of sand. It's one of the most picturesque and eerie abandoned places you'll ever see. The photos from this place are just unreal. So, what's the story? Back in 1908, a railway worker found a diamond here, just like lying on the ground. And suddenly, boom! Diamond rush! Prospectors flocked to the area, and Kolmanskop sprang up out of nowhere. It became this super wealthy little German-style village right in the middle of the desert. They had grand houses, a hospital, which apparently had the first X-ray machine in the southern hemisphere, a ballroom, a theater, a casino, even an ice factory, all powered by the diamond boom. Life was good for the residents for a while. They were living it up, isolated but rich. Okay, let's bring it back to the USA, to a classic American ghost town, Bodie, California. This place is like stepping right back into the Wild West, dude. It's a former gold mining town high up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's incredibly well preserved. We're not talking just a few crumbling walls here, we're talking about a whole town in a state of arrested decay. That means they don't restore it, but they don't let it fall apart completely either. It's amazing! Bodie boomed in the late 1870s after gold was discovered. Thousands of people flocked here, hoping to strike it rich. It was a true Wild West town, complete with saloons, gunfights, and all that jazz. They say it had a reputation for being pretty lawless and rough. There's even a famous quote from a little girl whose family was moving there. "Goodbye, God, I'm going to Bodie." That tells you something about its reputation, right? It was a tough place, but full of life and dreams of gold. But like all gold rushes, the boom didn't last forever. Next, we're jetting off to Italy, to a place that looks like it's straight out of a fantasy movie. It's called Craco, and it's an abandoned medieval village perched dramatically on a steep hilltop in southern Italy. The views from up there, and of the town itself, are absolutely breathtaking. It's this cluster of ancient stone buildings clinging to the cliffside, slowly crumbling but still so majestic. It's seriously one of the most visually stunning ghost towns I've ever seen pictures of. Craco has a super long history, dating back to before 1060 AD. For centuries, it was a thriving agricultural center, with a castle, a church, and a whole community living within its walls. This next one, guys, is incredibly heavy. It's a place called Oradour-sur-Glane in France, and it's not abandoned due to natural disasters or economic decline. It's a village that was destroyed and its inhabitants massacred during World War II by Nazi SS troops. It's been left exactly as it was on that horrific day, June 10, 1944, as a permanent memorial and a stark reminder of the atrocities of war. This isn't about spooky thrills, it's about remembrance and respect. On that day, German soldiers entered the village, rounded up all the men, women, and children. The men were taken to barns and sheds where they were shot. The women and children were locked in the church, which was then set on fire. Anyone trying to escape was machine-gunned. In total, 642 people were murdered, including over 200 children. All right, let's shift gears a bit, but still stay with some pretty intense history. We're heading to Varosha in Cyprus. This place is wild, guys. Imagine a glamorous Mediterranean beach resort, like think Miami Beach vibes from the 70s, with high-rise hotels, fancy shops, and beautiful sandy beaches. It was the place to be, attracting celebrities like Elizabeth Taylor and Brigitte Bardot. It was booming, luxurious, the jewel of Cyprus tourism. Then, in 1974, everything changed. Turkey invaded Cyprus in response to a Greek-backed coup. As Turkish troops advanced, the entire population of Varosha, mostly Greek Cypriots, fled for their lives, expecting to return in a few days once things calmed down. But they never did. The Turkish military fenced off Varosha, and it became part of a UN buffer zone, a no-man's land. For nearly 50 years, it remained a complete ghost town, untouched and decaying. Imagine that! Hotels full of furniture, shops with mannequins still in the windows, cars left in dealerships, all slowly crumbling behind barbed wire. Okay, back to the USA, and this one is super cool, especially if you're near New York. It's Bannerman Castle, and it's not your typical European-style castle. It's more like a crumbling romantic ruin of a Scottish-style castle, but it's on a tiny island in the Hudson River called Polypel Island. How awesome is that? An abandoned castle on an island. It looks like something out of a fantasy novel, especially when it's misty. So who built this thing and why? It was a guy named Francis Bannerman VI. He was a Scottish immigrant who made a fortune dealing in military surplus goods, like cannons, ammunition, old uniforms, you name it. He bought the island in 1900 to use as a safe storage place for all his explosive materials, away from the city. He then designed and built this elaborate castle-like warehouse and a smaller residence on the island, all by himself basically. No architects. He designed it to look like an old Scottish castle, and it was also a giant advertisement for his business. The words Bannerman's Island Arsenal were even cast into one of the walls. Alright, for this next one we're going way, way north, like Arctic Circle north. We're talking about Pyramiden, a former Soviet coal mining settlement on the Svalbard archipelago, which is actually Norwegian territory. This place is insane. It's a perfectly preserved Soviet-era town, abandoned in 1998, but because of the Arctic cold, it's like it was frozen in time. It's literally one of the northernmost settlements on Earth, and now it's a ghost town. Pyramiden was founded by Sweden in 1910 but sold to the Soviet Union in 1927. The Soviets turned it into this model Arctic community. They had everything. A beautiful cultural palace with a theater and library, a sports complex with a heated swimming pool, the northernmost in the world, comfortable apartment blocks, a school, a hospital, and even a heated greenhouse for growing vegetables. All this surrounded by stunning Arctic landscapes of mountains and glaciers. It was meant to showcase the success of Soviet communism. We're heading to Germany, to a place with a super dark history. It's Beelitz-Heilstätten, a massive abandoned hospital complex southwest of Berlin. This place is huge, with over 60 buildings, and it's got that eerie, decaying sanatorium vibe. It's been used in movies like The Pianist because it looks so haunting. During World War I, a young Adolf Hitler was treated here after being wounded at the Battle of the Somme. Once the Soviets left, most of the complex was abandoned, becoming a magnet for urban explorers and vandals. Alright guys, that was our whirlwind tour of the top 10 abandoned places you can actually visit. How insane were some of those spots? From the chilling silence of Pripyat to the sand-filled rooms of Kolmanskop and that creepy hospital in Germany, it's just wild to think these places exist and that we can explore them. Each one has such a unique story, a unique vibe. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you in the next adventure. Peace out.